Good morning, scholars. We're going to go ahead and get started with our CKLA lesson 3. So we are going to jump right into our oral blending. Remember the other day we talked about that when we are blending, we're taking the small sounds that make up a whole big word and putting them together to make the word. So for example, if I say the sounds at, you would tell me at, okay? So let's practice. If we were doing that one just like the other day, I say the sound, you say the sound, and we put it all together to blend it up into a word. Let's get started. At. The word is at. Awesome job. As. As. Ash. Ash. Awesome. Ad. Odd. 3 fingers this time. A, p, ha, k, a, t, cat, l, I, t, light, b, e, l, bell. Awesome job. Just like before yesterday as well, we're going to work on our segmenting. And remember, I told you to segment means to break apart. So when I'm segmenting, I'm going to give you the word, and you're going to break apart that word into the sounds that you hear. For example, if I say the word at, you would hear the sounds at, at. Awesome. So you're going to wiggle those fingers and tell me the sounds. Repeat after me. As. As. Great job. Let's keep going. Ash. 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 Odd. 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 3 fingers this time. Hop. Hop. Cat. Cat. Great job. Almost done. Light. L, I, t. Light. Bell. B, e, l, bell. Awesome job. We are next going to take a look at our code flipbook review. Remember the other day when we were practicing with this, I said it's really similar to when in K5 you had the sound wall cards. And we're going to take a look at one of our first letters today. Take a look at this card. What letter is this? What letter is this? Here I see the sound spelled E. And you can see on my card I have the S sound spelled E, and the word is pet. So this is what we would use to write the S sound in our English language. We talked a little bit the other day about the power bar, and we said that this reminds us how common each spelling is. If the card is a very common spelling, we said that spelling power bar is going to be really long. If it's not very common, or I wouldn't see it very often, it's going to be really short or really small. So looking at this spelled E card, I can see that that power bar is really long, right? This is a long power bar here, and so this is a really common spelling. So that shows me, I know that this is something we're going to see a lot when we're spelling and reading in our language. Next, I also know this is a vowel sound because the sound, my mouth is open the whole time. So if I was going to put up a letter sound card on this one, it would be green because that sound is flowing because it's a vowel sound. So the next one we have as well is this card. Take a second to tell yourself, what letter is this, or what sound is being spelled here? Here, scholars, we have the sound spelled U. And you can see here, looking at our power bar, that this power bar is a little bit shorter than than our last card. When we looked at the E's card, that power bar went across the whole card. It's very common. Now, this is still a really common spelling. However, it's a little bit shorter than our last one. And you can see that it says spelled U, like in but. So, and that's also a vowel one because the sound, again, my mouth is open or the sound keeps coming. So just like that last one, I would have my vowel card written in green. All right, we're gonna do something a little bit different today, and it's called tricky words. We haven't had a chance to do any of these yet, so let me explain. In our language, there are some words that are pretty tricky because when I look at them, they look like they should sound one way, but when I read them, they're actually gonna sound a little bit differently. And we say it's kind of like a trick because as a good reader, I have to be able to identify which words are tricky and sound different and which words sound like they should. And here's our first one. Our first one is tricky word A. Say tricky word A. Awesome. Tricky word A is tricky because usually when I see a letter A like this, I'm going to pronounce it as a or a, like I have a cat. So you can see here, tricky word A, like I have a cat, or I only need a book right now. When I'm reading A, I have to pronounce it as the sound or the A sound. And I have to remember to spell it with just one A. Sometimes, or typically, when I would see this, when I'm reading it as part of a word, I would see the letter A and I'd want to say A. But when I see it all by itself like this in a sentence, like I have a cat, I need to remember that's either a cat or a cat, and I'm going to say it like that. Take a second to go ahead and either read my sentence or think of another way that you would say that in a sentence. Think of your own time. How would you use the word a in a sentence? Awesome. Our next tricky word, we're going to have a lot of tricky words in first grade. Our next tricky word is tricky word I. Tricky word I is special because I pronounce it like I have a dog, or I am tall. And so this is tricky because when you see this word, I'm always going to have it capitalized. Even if it's not at the beginning of the sentence, it's always a capital letter. And this word is also different because if I saw this as part of a word, typically I might say it as it. But when I see the I all by itself like this, I'm always going to say it as tricky word I. So I have a few sentences for like that as well. Like, I like to ride my bike, or I am tall, or I am a friend. Go ahead and take a second and tell yourself a sentence where you would use the word I. Awesome job. We are going to get started and we're going to do some tricky word practice with reading some sentences. Up here you can see some different sentences with the tricky words we just practiced. Tricky word A and tricky word I. And as awesome readers, we are going to take a second to decode or read some of these tricky sentences. I'm going to give you a second. I'm going to point to the sentence. You are going to take a moment in your brain to think about and decode those words, and then we're going to read it all together. All right, first one. Let's see. All right, get ready. A pan. Get ready. Think about it. Sound it out in your brain. I nap. Get ready. Think about it in your brain. A dad. Get ready. I dig. Get ready. A pit. Awesome job. If you need to, you can even pause the video right now and you can go back and reread some of them for some more practice if we went too fast. But awesome job reading those right away on your own. All right, scholars, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to practice identifying nouns. I love nouns because a noun, get ready, is a person, it can be a place, or it can be a thing. And so when we talk about nouns, we're going to talk about that more in first grade. But today we are going to talk about nouns that are a person. So we're going to go through some phrases, or I'm going to tell you some, and I want you to think about in that phrase or in that sentence, who or what is the person, okay? So the first one, make sure everything, perfect. The first one is mom sings. I say it, you say it. Mom sings. Your turn, say it. Which word in that phrase, mom sings, is the person? Mom sings. Who is the person in mom sings? Scholars, if you said that the person is the mom, you are correct because a noun is a person, place, or thing. And today we said we're going to identify the noun that names a person, and it's a special type of word called a noun. So today, a noun names a person. When I'm listening to my sentence, a noun names a person. Say that. A noun names a person. So listen carefully to some more phrases, and I'm going to ask you to tell me who the person is in that sentence. Are you ready? Happy child. You say it. Happy child. Who is the person in happy child? Which word is the noun? The noun is the person. In happy child, if you said it's a child, you are correct. Let's do another one. Funny baby. Your turn to say it. Funny baby. Who is the noun or the person in funny baby? The noun is baby. Great job. Nice teacher. Ooh, you all have such a nice teacher. Who is the noun or who is the person in nice teacher? It is the teacher. Let's do another one. Girl runs. Girl runs. Who is the person or the noun in girl runs? It's the girl. One more. Boy plays. Boy plays. The noun or the person is the boy. Awesome job. So when I'm reading through that, like girl runs, I know that the word girl named a person, and a girl is the word as a part of the speech that's called the noun. That one came at the beginning of the sentence. In one of our other phrases I said happy child. Now that child is the part of speech that we would call a noun that names a person, and that one came at the end of the sentence. So we call that part of speech that names a person a noun. So the part of speech that names a person is called a noun. And we said it can come at the beginning, like girl runs, or it can come at the end, like happy child. Awesome job. We'll keep practicing that some more. We're going to do a lot of practice with that in first grade. All right, before you guys are done today, you have a couple activities. You are going to work on activity page 3.1 and 3.2, and it looks like this. All right, awesome job today, guys.